I'd like to tell you a story. I'd like to tell you just a little bit about me and about an event that I was so happy to participate in. My parents came from California, and they came when California was not so overcrowded and did not have a homeless population. They came and bought land, farmland, from the Cashin family. The Cashin family owned the area of Avondale that's now called Cashin, and Avondale annexed that several years back, and of course taxes and that kind of thing made their changes. So it's Avondale now, but it was the Cashin farm. I was born at a time when girls were taught to be good housewives and good women and supportive wives could support their husbands, not financially, but encouragement, making their lunches and making life a good experience for them. The beginning of my education, and education is important for my story. At the beginning, I was not allowed to go to kindergarten because I did not qualify because of my race. My earlier years in school were fairly uneventful. High school time, I was looking forward to going to college, and my parents did not have the money to send me to college, which I didn't really know at the time. And they didn't see value in going to college. It was not a priority for them. So I didn't go to college, and I did get married and had a few children, only 4. My husband turned out to be a felon, and he's dead. So I was single for a great period of time of 5 years. Then decided to marry again. I was a stay-at-home mother, and about the time the children matured enough that they were more in school and occupied, women usually learn hobbies and find things to do. I decided I could go to school, and I did go to school. I thought if I get a degree in counseling, I thought it would help my marriage. And so I focused on this whole, marriage bit in my psychology degree. It didn't work, and that's okay. And after that, I got a PhD in nutrition and then a doctorate in naturopathy. And I thought those would help my family, and it does still help my family, that education. I do a little bit of naturopathy, and I do some teaching. I'm a college professor. But what I'd like to tell you about is when a lady asked me to deliver her baby. And that's an unusual request. We go to the hospital to deliver babies, or a birthing center or something like that. And it's not in my scope of practice, not something that I typically allowed myself to do. But she had no money to pay the doctor, no money to pay the hospital. And she had had her last 2 children on the freeway on the way to the hospital. So she wasn't going to make it to the hospital if she waited until labor started. So I told her, yeah, I would do it. Not because I think it's right, but in this situation, it was right. And I said yes. She stayed in the house next door here for a month and a half or 2 before her due date. And that was so we could go ahead and prepare. When she asked me, she was about 7 weeks pregnant, 8 and 9 weeks pregnant. My medical models from anatomy class, 10 weeks pregnant, 11 weeks pregnant, and 16. So she moved into that little house to make sure that I would be able to get to her. I would stay in the house on one side of the fence, and she'd be on the other side of the fence, and I'd be ready to come when she went into labor, which we did. This is about the size the fetus was when she moved in. And this is about the size, more of my medical models, about the size of the fetus when he was born. She was born. And she was born Rebecca. Okay? She was born Rebecca. And she texted me the other day, asked me how I was doing. She's doing very well. She's in her 30s. And I guess the important part for me in this is that it's not the life I wanted. It's not the life I planned. And with an awful lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance and a complete lack of retirement, it's been a good life, and it continues to be a good life. And considering the age of my mother, I have 30 more years to go, and I'll be working for another 10. And that's okay. It's a little harder, but that's fine. Life isn't the way we plan it, but life is still important, and it's important that we share it with each other. And I'm so glad to be able to share this part of my life with you.